new business.
RMaez, consider to remain or separate from the district public health agency. This following numerous discussions and presentations before the county commissioners will consider whether San Juan Basin Public Health should or should not remain as the district public health agency for Archuleta County.
Commissioners, are there comments?
I don't know why we're making a decision. We never made a decision to leave. We never made a decision to stay. We did hear from public comment today. I think that we need to be aware of what the public has said. And I think we also mentioned some other items of discussion and further investigation of or research into whether we should or should not, but we still never made a definite or even a legal decision for us to leave. I don't see what the point is of us addressing this issue right now. We still need information.
So just for the, I guess, public knowledge, I don't know if this will help or not, but I was the liaison for the investigative committee for the health department. And I'm going to read to you what I stated to them was their purpose and why they were seated and what we asked them to do. And it is as follows. The committee is to evaluate the current level of service provided by the San Juan Basin Health to the citizens of Archuleta County and determine if the value of the services and dedicated staff received by Archuleta County are adequate for the associated costs, or if it would be more feasible and improve the level of service to the citizens of Archuleta County, where if Archuleta County were to create their own public health department or join with another regional public health department. That's what the purpose was. That's why they were seated in total. I know that there's argument that the contract we have with San Juan Basin Health is null and void. I'm not going to argue the legal position on that. But as far as I understand it, it does require a year advance notice. And if you look at this and you compile this with our current budgeting process and the timetable, if we were to leave San Juan Basin Health, and I'm not saying we are, if we were to leave them, in my opinion, based upon these factors, I think it would be a minimum of 2 years before we could consider this at all. And I think there are some significant considerations because I think we are obligated to find the service that is best for us, for Archuleta County, no other county but us. There are significant associated costs, personnel costs, setting up contracts with providers, because San Juan Basin Health does not provide all of these services. Many of them they contract with to be provided. And I think that there is a lot of work to be done if that is the direction that we're headed. I'm not necessarily opposed, but there's a lot of work to be done on the way to get there. I can tell you, in my opinion, right now, we are married to San Juan Basin Health for the moment. And I think that there needs to be some improvement. I was encouraged today that we had Lee and Juan come to the work session. I appreciated the fact that we received numbers of, or percentages of folks served by programs in Archuleta County, because I think that's what we've been needing. I've been wanting to hear is how are we spending our money, your money, my money, how are we spending our money on our community members to provide these services? So that's how I'm looking at this. I have to tell you, I hadn't expected this to come to a vote because we never voted, as Commissioner Maez pointed out, to discontinue our contract. But I think this is has been a learning and information gathering process that needs to continue with every group we contract with, because it can't be, this is good for now and it's good forever situation. And I think it's incumbent upon us, the county, to continually evaluate what we're receiving as far as services, because we are the customer. And if we're not receiving what we should be receiving, in our opinion, collectively, then we need to do something different. I don't know if that just continues to muddy the water or not, but But those are my thoughts on this.
And I have to agree with both commissioners. I think we never did make a decision to leave San Juan Basin Public Health, so we don't need to make a decision the other direction. But as Commissioner Brown said, I too was encouraged this morning with Leanne. John actually showed up here and didn't completely answer all the questions I don't think that we had, the community had, but she made, in my opinion, a large stride in that direction. We did get some numbers on services provided based on what we provide to them for funding. So I think there's no problem with continuing to evaluate and see if we can start our own, but like I said, it's going to be a minimum 2 years. But there's no reason why we can't continue to work with them and try to repair that relationship and get what we think as a community that we're owed from what we're paying for.
Right, and what else was stated is there's gonna be a continual monthly update
Yes.
to the commissioners being presented by Leanne. The only other thing is the possibilities of some changes to the bylaws as far as, either a proxy vote for an alternate or anyone that represents an alternate or the commissioner that's appointed to that committee. I think that issue also needs to be addressed, because it still gives, if a commissioner can't make a meeting, it still gives the appointed or the proxy to somebody that can make a monetary decision on the better behalf of Archuleta County citizens. Without the alternate, there's a position for an alternate that doesn't have a voting factor in it, which I think is not good. I know on the sword, for the opioid, there's a proxy available for an alternate, not the alternate, but for a representative from the county to make a voting position.
Right.
And I don't think there's any statute that says any bylaws can exclude that. I think it allows for it.
Like I said, I think we can go a long ways to fixing the relationship, and as demonstrated this morning, I think we did get some of the things.
I think we made some progress, yes.
So,
Chair, if I may,
Go ahead.
just 2 points of clarification. We don't actually have a contract with San Juan Basin Public Health. When the public health agency was formed, it was done via resolution adopted by the Board of County Commissioners, and I can't think of the date.
1940, well, the last one was 2009.
2000, I thought it was 8 or 9, but that's when it was. And the 1-year requirement to give notice of leaving is actually state statute. So that if you're part of a regional health agency formed by multiple counties or cities, towns, etc., you have to give 1 year's notice of departing.
Thank you. Great.
So if I may comment further.
Yeah.
Just one more item on that. So although I think that we're premature in making any kind of vote in staying or going, if we are to go, what I would like to see us is approach this in a way that we have the resources and people in place at the time we provide notice, so we can have a year's lead time to get these programs up and running. I don't want to be learning and struggling through and trying to provide services at the same time. I think that is more of a responsible approach to this, if that's to come. And I don't know none of us know where things are going to be, but that's kind of how I see things in that regard. And thank you for that clarification, Todd.
I totally agree. There's no point in trying to build a plane while we're trying to fly it. So, a lot of research needs to be done.
Great. Clarification, I don't need to call for a motion, though, without in that direction.
You can.
Yes, I mean, it is on the agenda. Probably the proper protocol is call for a motion. If there's no motion made, then the decision, the agenda item basically dies for lack of a motion.
All right. Well, that being said, I entertain a motion. Hearing none, the motion dies. On to item B.